Hi, good afternoon. Okay, very warm welcome to everyone. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, very warm welcome to everyone. Sorry for the slight mishap with the countdown. All right, so today, again, we are at 3 p.m. We are back in our solidarity event. Today, I'm back to being your host, not the speaker of the day. Today, we have a good speaker installed for us. Let me just remind everyone, if you feel demotivated throughout this MCO, your whole group and your whole friends of fellow RENs are all here for you lah. All right. So we can see a lot of good afternoons already here in the chat box. Good afternoon, everyone. Yep, Andrew, Jenny, May, Patrick, Jenny, thank you. Manik as well, thank you. So just a reminder to everyone, of course, this session is brought to you by the three of our agencies, CBD Property, Esprit Estate Agency, and also Profil Property Agency. All right, so we all come together with solidarity to ensure that the trainings throughout this FMCO period would be more than enough for you all. We are making sure that every day there is at least one session, and every week is a slightly different topics. We have moved from our more soft skill topics to our more technical topics, and very exciting, even next week we got some psychological topics as well. All right, NLP related, this test related. So even for next week, we have plenty installed for you. Today is our last weekday. Will be led forward by Mr. Ng Chin. So those of you who have not scanned the QR and register yet, please do scan and register. And for those of you who find our training helpful, please do share out the link with your fellow colleagues as well. All right, please do share out the link as well, because here is a sharing platform. More than welcome for people to join in. Okay, I got a random question here to answer. Miss Jenny Ngai, Kai Wong, are you Rose Wong's son? No, I'm not her son, but constantly confused for being the son. All right, so let's move on to today's session. I'll run you guys through some webinar rules first. Most importantly, number one, let's try our best to keep the chat room active and energetic, all right? It's not a place to sell your retail stuff. It's also not a place to sell your retail listings. But those of you who want to network and put your phone number down and your agency number down, why not? Okay, for those of you who want to network, please do leave your contact details down if you want to network with our other colleagues around the around this chat room lah. Okay. Secondly, webcam on, very good. We are more than welcome to see your happy faces. Mic on, try your best to raise your hand first. There's a raise your hand reaction button at the bottom before you unmute your mic and ask a question. Or similarly to Jenny Ngai, leave down your question in the chat room and our speaker will get to you. Okay, last but not least, as I always mention, we do not know what you don't know. So try your best to ask as many questions as possible. In the last few days, it's been great. It's been more interactive. More people have been asking questions. So that's very good news. And sometimes the questions also not enough time to answer. So please, as fast as you think about a question, just leave it down here and I'll make sure it's attended to. Okay, so for today's session, the handsome man on the left, as you can see in specs, I think a slightly outdated picture. Looks very young and handsome over here. Very fresh. Okay, now on the screen, of course, you can see this is what he looks like now. Slightly more wiser, slightly more experienced, and of course, more importantly, has already directed a huge number of sales and huge number of following with him as well. So today, the topic that he'll run us through is applications of calculations for your real estate business. We get it that most of the time, people don't take into account being detailed in all their transactions and making sure everything that is number related is zoomed into the T. All right. So everyone, can you all please give Chin a warm welcome? Okay, reaction button at the bottom. You can give him a thumbs up. You can give him a clap. Yeah, Chin, can we please test your mic, please?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
All right, fantastic, Chin, very clear. Okay, guys, so just bear in mind, this guy is below 30 years old and he's already a owner of an agency. A lot to learn from him. A lot to look forward with his training session. Mr. Chin, very honored to have you here. Please take it away. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kai. So, today, our training session today, right, is like the training topic suggests application of calculation for your real estate businesses. So it's going to be a lot about the numbers that involve in our daily real estate transactions. All right. So this session actually is for the benefit of our more junior agent because I will be sharing about the whole how usually what's the flow of the whole transaction, and then after that, in between every stage of the transaction, what is the number involved. All right. So of course, for senior agent as well, take this opportunity to refresh yourself to the all these numbers, all these taxes, all this stamp duty, all this calculation. Take this opportunity to refresh yourself. All right. Okay, so we will start our sharing today. Okay, so this is a simple summary of this is a simple flow of a real estate purchase. Okay, so whenever you purchase a property, be it you are the buyer or when you guide it through your purchaser to buy your property, it's very important that you need to know at every stage of it, each stage of the whole of the lifetime that they purchase property, not stop there, doesn't stop after they purchase the property. After that, when they hold the property, what's going to happen until the day that they sold the property. Okay, real estate industry to me is to myself is a very long-term career, and I see myself in this line probably for the rest of my life. Okay, so of course, every stages of a property purchase, definitely I will be involved in. So then I will need to be able to advise my client accordingly at different stage. All right. So first, before you buy a property, first of course you go to viewing, and then viewing viewing itself involve number already. Okay, when viewing we were talking about size, about square feet, about length, about how land is being measured, all these numbers. All right, and then at the viewing stage, even before they purchase property as well, okay, you need to you need to already start filtering, the process of filtering. Okay, which is the financial profiling part lah. You need to know roughly whether this purchaser can pay or not, can afford or not. Okay, or if this not ready yet, how can you help them around it? Okay, so this is viewing and before they purchase, and this is this is the stage one. Okay, after that, after purchasing, I will classify this as stage 2. Okay, stage 2 will involve a lot of, like, for example, this is when all the heavy payment comes in. You need to pay the MOT, the stamp duty of transfer, and then for owner, of course, need to pay agency fee as well. All this happen in this stage 2, okay, which is the exact time when after you purchase the property, what's going to happen next. All right. So after purchase property, the whole process done, SPS signed, SPS stamp, transfer done, disbursement done, redemption sum done. What's next? Okay, next is usually the longest period in the property purchase cycle, okay, which is the holding period. So of course, there's different kind of investment strategy or different objective towards what you want to do with the property that will determine the holding period. For example, if you want to buy and flip only, okay, then the holding period probably is what? It could be as short as 1 year, okay? Or if you are somebody that want to purchase property and hold it for long term, I do know a lot of investors, whenever they buy, they will never sell the property. Okay, so it's different objective and different investment style. So this period can go up to maybe 20, 30 years, or even legacy passed down to their kid, the next 2, 3 generation. Okay, so during holding period, what is the number involved? Okay, we will share. I'll share to you shortly as well. Okay, and the last one, last stage of owning a property. Okay, not this, which is the disposal stage where you sell off the property lah. Okay, so as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 basically cover the entire cycle of a property purchase or holding until you sell it off. Basically, the whole journey of a property with you is being covered here lah. Okay, so all these stages involve different number calculation, be it some fees, some calculation, some return. We will go into it in detail. All right. So let's start with the first one, viewing and profiling. Okay, so for viewing and profiling, right? Viewing at the viewing stage, of course, we are talking about measurement. Okay, what's the lens size? What's the length? Here comes the first number that we have. And then also, like I mentioned just now, financial profiling, which is the DSR calculation. How do you qualify your client? Right. So for measurement part, actually, is more towards like, okay, the conversion rate of it, the unit we are using. Okay, so all this yellow color one I highlighted is a little bit more frequent that we use it one now. Okay, so how we read this thing? Okay, on the left hand side, 1 square meter, 1 hectare, 1 square kilometer, 1 square feet, 1 acre is equivalent to, okay, whatever on the top, right? So for example, 1 square meter is equivalent to 10.76 square feet. Okay, so this is a few measurement unit that is very important to know lah. You wouldn't want people talking about 2 acre, 1 acre. How many square feet is that? Don't know. Okay, so not very nice. Okay, to be a professional real estate negotiator, even detail into area like this. This is more towards area lah. Okay, 1 hectare actually is 10,000 square meter. 1 square kilometer is 1 million square meter. Okay, things like this. Okay, so the yellow I highlighted one is the more frequently used one. So from the left, 1 hectare is equal to 10,000 square meter. 1 square meter is equivalent to 1 million square meter. Okay, 1 square kilometer is equivalent to 100 hectare, and then 1 hectare is equivalent to 0.01 square kilometer. Okay, actually the more the usually used one is acre to square feet, and then also acre to hectare. Okay, 2.7 acre is equivalent to 1 hectare. Okay, and then 1 acre, 43560 square feet. Okay, this one very important. Okay, so this is a few measurement of when it comes to talk about land area conversion. Very important to know lah. Okay, because understanding that maybe some of the project agent also not that exposed to that much of this bigger size. When we talk about acre, yes, like this development is maybe 4 acres, but hectare, project agent that doesn't do township need to know lah, or the value for hectare. Okay, so this is for area. Okay, so this is on the bigger scale of measurement, the number for bigger scale. What about when we are inside the house? Okay, so inside the house, we use the length one. Okay, from a millimeter actually less lah. Okay, is cm, meter, kilometer we are in the house also it's less lah. By kilometer also, like when we use on like distance between this development and maybe the nearest LRT station or whatnot, we will use kilometer. Okay, feet as well, inch, yard, mile, slightly less lah. Okay, so what's very important is 1 meter to 1 feet. How much is it? Okay, is 1 meter is to 3.28 feet. Okay, so this is again highlighted in yellow one is we use a little bit more often one. All right, you guys can yeah, it actually is a knowledge for yourself to know. If you don't know, also actually just Google it up lah. It's over the internet for the conversion. But at the back of your head, you need to know at least like 1 meter to 1 square 1 feet is how long. Okay, meter to cm, cm to meter, a millimeter to cm, cm to meter, meter to kilometer. What's the conversion like? All right. Okay, so this is inside the house. When we talk about tiles, 2 times 2 feet, and then that is the easy way of measurement lah, because a lot of tiles actually is 1 times 1. So or some is 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 tiles, you can just calculate roughly how many tiles times by 2. That will be the feet, the depth of the house, how wide it is. All this is some simple measurement that when inside the house, client asks you roughly, hey, how long is this house? Of course, for landed, probably you already have an idea lah, 2270, 2275 or whatnot. Okay, but if they ask you, hey, how inside, not about the land, okay, about the building itself, how wide is it, how deep is it? Okay, so good to bring measuring tape around with you, but just in case you don't have, at least calculate by feet, and at least how many meter all this is at the back of your head that you need to know already. All right. Okay, so this is the second number. Okay, this is on viewing inside the house or during the travel to the destination towards whatever is around, the amenities around, land area, all this important to know lah. Okay, so the second one, financial profiling, which is the DSR calculation. Okay, DSR calculation is the short form is abbreviation for debt service ratio lah. Okay, so debt service ratio basically is the total commitment you have over your net income. Okay, times by 100%. Okay, so that is your DSR calculation. So how is this important? What is it used for? Okay, BDSR basically is one benchmark across different bank have different DSR benchmark, but basically is one benchmark that all the bank look at to see if you can afford the property or not. Okay, so on top here, total commitment, we are talking about the housing, car, education, personal loan, and also the credit card outstanding lah. Okay, so this is, for example, today I have an income of a net income of 5,000 after deducting everything, ETFs also. Okay, my current commitment is 1,500, 1,000 from house loan, 500 from a car loan, 1,500. Okay, then my current DSR is 1,500 over 5,000, okay, which is 30%. Okay, generally, if the DSR is between different bank, again, different bank have different range. Okay, so it's between 40 to 70% is considered okay, acceptable, depending on your income also. Okay, so different bank favor different client profile. Some prefer working professional that have fixed income. Some prefer business owner. Different bank, different profile. Prefer different profile, and then the way they're assessing it also slightly different. Okay, so back to the example just now, my net income is 5,000. So now I have a DSR of 30%. Okay, what does it mean? For example, if today this bank have debt service ratio of a cap of maybe 60%, means if my debt service ratio, my current commitment plus new commitment is more than 60%, then more likely than not, they won't give me the loan now unless I can in any way prove I have maybe some saving or what that will help to show bank that I actually can pay. Okay, then okay. Okay, so if today, back to the example just now, okay, 70% of 5,000 means to say 3,005 is the maximum commitment bank thing I can afford. Means to say, on top of the 1,005, the new commitment can the new house I want to buy cannot monthly commitment cannot be more than 2,000. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, so it's a calculation rough. I give you a rough idea of whether when the purchaser come to view the house, they can purchase or not. Okay, this is especially important when towards the closing part lah. You wouldn't want after you close it and then found out that this client actually cannot pay. Okay, so that's why actually nowadays a lot of project developer actually provide these tools lah, financial check. Okay, for example, one of the apps we are using is called WhoPay. WhoPay basically is CCRIS and CTOS report that developer provide. It's an apps. Okay, so once you key in the name and also the IC number, customer sign the consent form, then they will proceed to check whether how healthy this customer is, and then everything will come out. Okay, payment on time or not, payment behavior, how is it, DSR, how is it, recommended how much more can borrow. Okay, so all these apps actually is available in the market as well lah. But the most fundamental of it is you need to know what DSR is. Okay, and then how bank works, which is looking at DSR lah, looking at DSR calculation to determine how much they can borrow to you. Okay, so this is the second number that is very, very important for all of us to know. Okay, sub-sale, project agent, everybody we need to know. Okay. Okay, so this is the first stage of a property purchase. Okay, viewing, we are talking about some measurement units, and then financial profiling, we are talking about DSR calculation. The second stage, okay, after you view everything, okay, this house looks good, after further assessing the financial profile, everything okay, time to purchase. Okay, time to purchase, then pay booking already. Okay, proceed with loan. Proceed with loan. Okay, what's the payment involved after you confirm in a property? Okay, this after purchasing, now we are standing at buyer purchaser's perspective lah. Okay, again, this whole flow is myself from I start viewing a property, I purchase, I hold, I sell. Okay, so it's from purchaser perspective. So of course, at this point of time, a purchaser don't need to pay agency fee yet lah. Okay, because usually in Selangor and KL, owner is the one paying. Okay, so at this stage, what is the fee involved? Okay, there is service fee and then there is transaction fee. Okay, service fee is lawyer. Of course, we need to appoint lawyer to draft SPA for us. Okay, to represent us, to do land search. Okay, to do like check whether got caveat or not, discharge of charge, all these things actually lawyer will need to help us do all these things lah. Okay, and of course on there's valuation fee as well lah. Okay, so on this is the two party that we will engage. Okay, and then on the transaction fee, this is the most commonly known one, the stamp duty. Okay, stamp duty, I will touch a bit on tenancy agreement. That's stamp duty for tenancy agreement as well. How to calculate it? Stamp duty on MOT or DOA, date of assignment. If there is no, if it's still under master title, then it's MOT and DOA. Okay, and the last one, stamp duty for loan agreement. Okay, so more senior agent looking at this, probably you know how to calculate everything exactly already lah. But maybe for newer project agent, because project agent a lot of time it happens where stamp duty, MOT free, loan agreement fee, lawyer free. So how to calculate actually? I just know everything is free. Don't know how to calculate. Okay, so take note, this is at least you need to know that even though it's free, yes, buyer purchaser don't need to pay. But in case purchaser want to know how much they save or to make them more happy a bit, this will be helpful lah. Okay, for lawyer fee. Okay, generally lawyer fee there's three parts of it. Okay, first part is the lawyer fee. Okay, lawyer themselves helping us to prepare SPA to represent the purchaser. This is their professional fee. Okay, and then there is a tier to it lah. First 500,000 is 1%. The next 500,000, which is 500,001 ringgit, up to 1 million. Okay, is 0.8%. Okay, the 1 million and 1 ringgit up until 3 million is 0.7, and then the next tier is 0.6%. Okay, up until 5 million. 5 million and above is 0.5%. Okay, so this part is the profession. This one actually is like our agent fee lah. Okay, using their service, they represent us. They do what all the legal procedure. Then we pay them lah. So this is first part is lawyer fee. Okay, second part statutory disbursement. So like discharge of charge, like official search, like CKHG submission, which is the Cukai Hartanah submission. All this actually is not pay to them, but he's paid to the government relevant authority one lah. Okay, so second part is the statutory disbursement. Okay, generally is between this part lah alone is 300, 500 like that, around there. Okay, and then the last part, lawyers firm disbursement. Okay, is for themselves, traveling and printing expense. So this one also is probably sometimes like 100 ringgit per item, something like that. So these two is between, usually it's between 3,000 like that lah. Okay, lawyer fee of course is scaling following the table. Okay, and also of course on top of lawyer fee, every time when people purchase house, they say legal fee very expensive. Actually, lawyer fee alone, smaller portion. The bigger portion actually is the transaction fee. Okay, which we're going to go into after we talk about what's the service fee involved. Okay, and then next one is valuation fee. Okay, fee payable for valuation report. More for bank lah. This one actually. Okay, valuation fee also. For 50,000 and below is 1,500. Okay, this one is not cumulatively. Means this one is not adding it up. It's at what price? Is what valuation fee. Okay, of course, if it is 1 million and above only, then there's a base fee of 3,500, and then on top of that, the value. On top of that, the value will be following this percentage lah: 6/25%, 5/25%, 3/50%, okay, and 6/250%. Okay, so this is how much they charge for a valuation report. For example, a 500,000 house. Okay, then the fee is 2,500. For a 1 million property, okay, 1 million property is 3,500 lah. Just refer back to the table. Okay, valuation fee quite straightforward. So it's flat at the beginning, and then upon reaching 1 million and above, and then follow the scale lah. There's a scale for it. I mean, following the flat amounts lah, just times it. Okay. Okay, so this is for valuation fee. Okay, so the next one we are talking about. Okay, this one I just, like I mentioned, I will touch a bit on this. A lot of people don't really know how to calculate it and what's the breakdown of it. So for sub-sale agent, stamp duty, rental times 12 months, okay, and then minus 2,004 divided by 250. Okay, so again, stamp duty is actually we call it ad valorem calculation, means it follow the value of the instrument. Means the tenancy agreement, the more expensive it is, the higher stamp duty you need to pay lah. Okay, it's not flat. And then why less this 2,400 ringgit? Okay, actually there's a reason behind. It's because actually for the first 200 ringgit you collect, 200 ringgit per month, every month you collect actually is exempted from stamp duty. Okay, so means to say actually if you put the rental 200 ringgit only, so you don't need to pay stamp duty one. Okay, so this is the logic of, so 200 times 12 months is 2004. That's why always the rental times 12 minus 2004 and then divide by 250. Okay, this is the exact stamp duty. Of course, it's easier to just refer to the table, but good to know lah. As a professional agent, good to know how to actually calculate. All right. And then usually there's 2 copies to it, main copy and duplicate copy. Duplicate copy is 10 ringgit per copy. Okay, this one quite straightforward. Okay. Okay, now the heavy part. Stamp duty for MOT and DOA. Okay, first 100 ringgit. This one also the stamp duty for MOT and date of assignment is also follow scale. Okay, first 100,000 is 1%. The next 400,000. Okay, this one is add up one. It's not at what price is straight away what percent. Okay, so the next 400,000, 2%. And the next 500,000 is 3%. Anything above 1 million is 4%. Okay, so this is the scale of it. This one actually need to pay to government one. So there's not much way of you can see it. But of course, there is exemption for it. Okay, so now a question to the floor. What is the current available stamp duty for your MOT? Can I see some? Yeah. Can I see some? Anyone? Come on, especially project agent. I'm sure you guys know what is some. Yes. Yes, Chua from Moa. Yes, is HOC lah. HOC is one of the exemption. Correct. On MOT transfer. Okay. I will. Yeah. Norshida, thanks. Yes, HOC. Free MOT for first-time home buyer as well. Yes, correct. Sophia, thank you. Yep, thank you, Sophia. Correct. First home buyer, there's 500. If residential property 500,000 and below, there is exemption MOT. Okay, I will show you that few exemptions shortly. Okay, we go back to stamp duty for loan agreement. This one very straightforward. Stamp duty for loan agreement is 0.5% on loan amount. Okay, it's not the SPA price. It follow how much you loan. For example, if I buy a 1 million property today, I only loan 20%, maybe like 30% or 40%. Okay, so the loan agreement, stamp duty for loan agreement is 0.5% of the percentage I borrow. For example, today 1 million, I borrow 20% only. Okay, that's 200,000. So it's 0.5% of 200,000, 1,000 ringgit only. Okay, whatever amount it is, no scale to follow, flat 0.5%. Okay, very straightforward this one. Okay, so comes to the exemption part. Okay, stamp duty exemption on DOA, MOT, and loan agreement. Okay, correct. First one is home ownership program. Okay, but this one only applicable to purchase from developer only. Okay, it needs to be project only. Okay, so as we all know, recently it just got extended So good news for all the project agent. Try your best to push take this advantage, create some agency in your purchaser. Make sure they conclude everything before 31st of December. Okay, there's a few criteria as well. Okay, developer need to hit at least 10%, minimum give 10% discount. Okay, only unit between 300,000 to 2.5 million is qualified under this home ownership campaign exemption on stamp duty. But please remember that only first 1 million purchase price of first 1 million ringgit of this property value is exempted. Okay, what does it mean? For example, if today I have a property of 2.5 million, okay, 2.5 million, first 1 million exempted means there 2.5 minus 1 million, there's extra 1.5 million. Okay, following back the scale, everything above 1 million is 4%. So this 1.5 million times 4%, that is the amount I need to pay. Okay, anything below 100,000, 100,000 to 500,000, 500,000 to 1 million. So here alone is around 15,000. Okay, this 24,000. Okay, this 24,000 is free, and then you still need to pay 1.5 million times 4%, which is 60,000. Okay, so this is how the exemption works. It's not entire 2.5 million property purchase 5 punya stamp duty is exempted, guys. Take note. Okay, second one, right, it's like just now you guys, some of you guys mentioned, first residential home purchaser up to 500,000 between for SPSI between 1st of Jan this year until 31st December 2025 lah. First residential home purchaser only, guys. First commercial cannot, second residential all cannot lah. Okay. And then there is stamp duty, and then there's a stamp duty on the love and affection as well lah. Love and affection kind of transfer means to say stamp duty exemption if you transfer between husband and wife, then it's 100% exempted. Okay, if you transfer from parents to children, then it's 50% exempted lah. Okay, so of course there is more details in this, which is if, for example, transfer within group of company for better restructuring, better efficiency, all this, so long as you can prove under certain criteria, transfer within group of company also actually is accepted lah. Okay, but we won't go into that. We talk on the more general term lah. Okay. Okay, so this is the transaction fee part after you purchase. Okay, so service, lawyer, valuation, transaction fee, there is a stamp duty lah. Okay, that you need to pay. Okay, stamp duty, the most heavy one is this one, date of assignment and MOT punya stamp duty lah. Okay, and then we going into holding period. Okay, now everything settled already. Okay, bank loan agreement signed, the lawyer pay already. What's next? Okay, so this whole period of I owning this property, there's cost to it as well. Okay, there is a maintenance fee you need to pay. Okay, basically it's these three things that you need to pay. Costs will incur in these three things, not these three things, two things. Okay, another one is actually you need to know how your rental property is performing. Okay, so it's very important to calculate what is your rental on investment. Okay, and then the first one, maintenance cost. Maintenance cost. Second one, return on investment. You need to know how your property is actually performing. If it's performing too badly, better like explore the alternative of you want to cut loss or what lah. Okay, don't hang on it forever and ever. The last one, installment and interest. Okay, installment and interest. There is an easy way to calculate it lah. Okay, you guys need to know also because this one is very important to calculate the DSR we shared earlier. Okay, so maintenance cost is not just maintenance fee, guys. Maintenance cost is basically referring to anything you need to pay to keep your if it's your investment property going on well. Okay, so for condo is maintenance fee and sinking fund. Every month you need to pay. For landed, some landed gated garden one, there's security guard fee lah. Okay, and then there is quick rent as well. Quick rent you need to pay once a year to the land office, and then assessment twice a year. Okay, to a local authority for them to take care of all your waste collection, collect your rubbish, maintain the roads, trimming all the greens you can see all around. So this one, local authority, if you are in Subang Jaya, then pay to MPSJ. In PJ, and PBJ in KL area or to DBKL. Okay, so this is some form of taxes that you need to pay and need to be aware as well lah. Okay, and then if this is investment for you, then you need to pay agency letting fee as well. Okay, agency letting fee, 1 month, people help you find a tenant, you need to pay. Okay, property management fee, if you have property that is in Johor or in Penang, in Selangor, if you are staying in Johor, you have property in KL, Selangor, then there is people managing your property for you, need to pay property management fee as well lah. Okay, generally it's around 10% in the market. Agency letting fee, of course, we all know, sub-sale agent is very know this very well, is minimum 1 month. Okay, generally it's 1.25 months and above lah, depending on there's a scale to it as well. Is in the later part I will share. Okay. So this is a few maintenance costs that need to consider when purchasing a property. Okay, because why this is important? When you purchase a house, you will want to know after you buy how much you need to refurbish it and then to maintain it. For example, if there's a swimming pool, then maintaining the swimming pool, definitely your water bill will be very high. Okay, and then you need people to constantly maintain the water, let it running, the machine you need to take care of. All this is maintenance costs. Okay, to consider. Okay, of course, on top of this, there is plumbing, wiring, refurbishment costs, renovation costs as well. That one is very, very subjective, so I don't indicate any numbers here lah. Okay, all those is very subjective, but need to have that in mind when you advise the client to buy a property, or you yourself when you're buying a property. All right. Okay. AGS, agency letting fee, minimum is 1 month. Okay, following a scale of, if up to 3 years, this is from the board, 1.25 months. Okay, gross rental. Exceeding 3 to 4 years is 1.5 months, 4 to 5 years, 1.75 months. All the above is 1.75 months of rental. Okay, so if the client renew, same tenant, same owner, is rent, we call it rent review lah, is 50% of the rental. Okay, so this is the fee that board strongly recommend us to charge lah. Okay, so of course, some people will ask like, hey, I cannot get 1.25 month how? Go back to the service the service we're providing to the owner lah. Okay, build long-term relationship with your owner. When owner happy with your service, is I would say it's quite easy to get 1.25 months one lah. Okay. Okay, the first one, maintenance cost, done. Okay, second, you want to know how your property is performing. Okay, then we go back to calculating return on investment, ROI. Gross ROI, quite straightforward, rental times 12 months over purchase price times 100%. Okay, that is your return on investment. Net one, just deduct out the maintenance fee, the quick rent, all this. Usually, generally, you can take 20% out from your every month rental. Expect it to use to pay all this, maybe like agent fee, maybe repair something, all this statutory quick rent assessment, all this you need to pay one. The rough figure, you can take an estimate of 20%. So your rental, take 80% of your rental over the purchase price. That can roughly be considered the net ROI. Okay, so of course, it very much depends on how efficient you manage all your things. Okay, if you got a lousy tenant, everything, every day there's something spoiled, the gate pecah, something wrong, you need to spend a lot of money to repair the property, right? Then need to fine tune, need to reconsider your tenancy with that tenant. Okay, generally around 20%, I would say is a healthy monthly outflow cost to maintain your rental, your debt investment. Okay, so the recommended one is between anything between 4 to 7% of net ROI of 4 to 7% is quite a good investment lah. Okay, 4% is a bit on the lower part, but 4% 5% and above, I would say is a pretty okay investment. 6% 7% is a good investment. Okay, if net ROI 6 to 7% is a very big selling point to your client now. Okay, so how can we achieve this? Two element, rental and purchase price. Okay, sorry, three element, rental, purchase price, and the maintenance cost. Either you can keep your maintenance cost low, or try to find way to increase your rental, or you actually buy at a very cheap price. Okay, all this will actually affect your ROI and eventually decide whether this property is still worthy to hold on for long term or not. Okay, so it's a simple concept of calculating roughly whether this property is worth purchasing or not. Of course, there's a lot more beyond that to consider. For example, future capital growth, capital gain for this. For example, if your taman right beside it, there's a coming train station line or what, that will enhance the value of the property. Of course, it doesn't reflect it now. Okay, but that kind of infrastructure actually will affect your purchase decision. It will affect your ROI in the future. Okay, so ROI is just a benchmark and indicator as a reference. Be more wholesome when you consider all this. Consider whether to buy a property or not. Okay. Okay, so this is the second part. The third part, installment and interest. Okay, this one actually there's like I mentioned, there's easy way to calculate it which is using the EasyLaw apps. Okay, EasyLaw apps, you guys can download it. Just key in purchase price, how much is it? Margin of financing, how many percent? Okay, how many years? Interest rate also you can adjust, and then eventually you will get okay, how much monthly installment, what's the interest that you need to pay Okay, again, this is very important in determining whether how is the capability of your purchaser to buy it Okay. Yeah, okay, generally last time okay, I use this general rule of thumb, 500,000, then the installment is around 2,000 ringgit. So you can scale accordingly with that Okay, for example, 5,000 is 500,000 in purchase price is to 2,000 installment. Then 1 million is to 4,000. Okay, so from there you can roughly straight away calculate already okay, how much client need to pay as per, for example, 500,000. This client is young, okay, 35 years, can do no problem. Current interest rate around 3% or slightly less. Okay, then it's around 2,000 ringgit installment. You need to know. Okay, it looks very professional when you can straight away just tell your client like that on how much is your roughly commitment. Okay, so part of the holding, installment and interest, you guys need to know how to calculate it Okay, not to say exactly how to calculate it, roughly know how much is the installment for this property. Okay, for a given year. Okay, so this is the third part, the longest period holding. What is the number involved in between? Okay, coming to the last part, disposal. After holding for very long, capital appreciate already, you want to sell it off. Okay, so this is the stage. Okay, disposal, the number it involved, again, service fee, agency fee, and lawyer fee. Okay, so remember guys, now you are as an owner already. So now you need to know how much you own a property you want to sell, how much is the agency fee that you need to pay. Okay, of course, owner need lawyer representation as well but of course, lawyer is rather minimal it's few thousand only because like I mentioned, you don't need to bear the heavy part of the stamp duty for MOT, stamp duty for stamp duty for the MOT and or DOA the day of assignment. Okay, second part of it, RPGT. Okay, this one very important to be technically equipped with this knowledge lah to your client. Okay. So for service fee, estate agent fee, we in this line, of course, we will know lah. Okay, what's the fee that we can expect of for land and building? If this is from the board, maximum is 3%. But of course, upon mutual agreement, it can go out higher lah. Okay. Sometimes if owner happy with your service, willing to give maybe higher, 3.5, 4%. Okay. Or if above certain agreed price, then is this 3.5%. Mr. Owner, okay or not? Okay. Again, it's mutual agreement between you and the owner, between the agency and the owner. Okay. Other services such as joint venture, sales of company, property swaps, maximum of 3%. Again, actually, it's very much a mutual agreement thing lah. For chattel, including plant and machinery, is the 10% of the proceeds. Okay. So, for example, selling off a business in the Bovia website, on the Bovia website, stated actually is 10% of the proceeds lah. Okay. So for project agent, it's not stated what is the minimum or maximum percentage, is upon agreement with between the developer and the agency lah. Okay. So generally in the market is between 2 to 5% lah. Okay. Of course there is project that give like 10%, but it's not going to be easy to sell lah. If developer give 10% of commission, means they are quite desperate. They don't know how to, they're not too sure how to do it. That's why they give high commission to attract agent to try to sell it lah. Okay. Okay, come down to the last part of the numbers for today, RPGT, Real Property Gain Tax. Okay, so this part more technical, based on the Tax Act 1976, is a form of capital gain tax that is chargeable on gains from selling your property. Okay, also apply for disposal of share in real property company lah. But this one, if you own a property yourself personally, then is less relevant. But need to be able to tell you need to know this, that if there's a company that 75% and above of tangible asset are real estate, then this company is actually a RPC status. Okay, RPC status when you sell share of the company, right? Then this will trigger RPGT as well. Okay, not just because usually sharing shares is considered capital gain, doesn't trigger any tax one. But if you sell share related to in RPC, then yes, okay, there is RPGT for it. So I have prepared a simple RPGT flow chart. Okay, so on the left, these three elements come back together. Then there is possibly a real property gain tax. Okay, first we need to have a chargeable person. This one actually cover pretty broad lah. Okay, in our Inner Revenue Board ruling, chargeable person means whoever can be charged tax lah. Okay, whoever need to pay tax is a chargeable person, which include company, trustee, personal name, or joint purchaser. All this is chargeable person. Okay, so this one cover very, very broad. So you can almost assume most of the time whoever sell property and need to go through this process lah. Okay, it's a chargeable person itself. Okay, and then second, we go to the bottom, this one first, chargeable asset. Okay, chargeable asset is just now, like I mentioned now, can be RPC shares or there is your property itself. Okay, these are chargeable asset. Okay, and then third, if there is chargeable gain, then there will be tax lah. Okay, to be fair, you actually make money out from it. So any kind of profit, not any kind of profit lah. Okay, so this kind of disposal, government will take some of it like as tax lah. Okay, and then okay, so these three elements come into place already. After you sell a property, you are a chargeable person. You are transacting a chargeable asset. Okay, if disposal price is less than acquisition price, means you make a loss actually. So here, this situation, no chargeable gain, no gain because you actually lost money. This actually happens a lot to today's situation. Okay, today's situation in the sense that when, especially on project, especially, okay, 2-3 years down ago, if they buy at an SPA price of 500,000, today market value of their property probably is like 400 plus thousand only. Okay, in this situation, it's a loss lah. Okay, you buy at 500,000, you sell at 400,000, then it's 100,000 loss lah. So in this situation, of course, then no RPGT lah. Okay, but if there is gain, okay, your selling price actually higher than your acquisition price. Okay, for example, I bought a property back in 2000, year 2000. I buy at 500,000. Okay, today I sell it at 2021. Okay, 21 years I'm holding it. I sell it at 1 million. So of course, the 500,000 is my gain. Okay, 500,000 is subject to RPGT. Subject to only is not the final calculation to it. Okay, because again, there's exemption 1, there's exemption if after you compute, there's exemption 2 to reduce your RPGT as well. Okay, so 500 chargeable gain. If we go through exemption 1 is in the situation of deemed equal price. Okay, so basically is like transfer of ownership between spouse, you give to the government or approved charitable organization, or government actually buy your land, bought over your land. Okay, all this is deemed equal. For example, but government compulsory acquire my land, or my land just now I mentioned 2000, year 2000 I buy 500,000. Okay, so it will consider I sell it off at 500,000. But actually, if government the compensation is 1 million or so, doesn't really matter. Okay, because in this situation, is consider deemed equal. Okay, consider same. Or just now, like I mentioned, transfer within group of company, and this one you need to actually write to a Director General of Inland Revenue. Need to get approval from them first. Okay, transfer between husband and wife, parents and children, grandparents and grandchildren. All this is that it won't trigger RPGT lah. Okay, it will consider, for example, I transfer to my kid, or I transfer to my dad. Okay, then it will consider I transfer at the price of 500,000. No RPGT trigger here. Okay. Okay, so and then also exemption order 2020, up to 3 residential property you sell within this period of time until end of this year. SPA agreements executed and stamped within by end of this year or latest 31st January of next year lah. Okay, all this is also up to 3 residential property you sell off is exempted from RPGT. Why? Okay, government actually want people to be more active in the property market lah. Okay, so that's why give some exemption. Hope owner sell it off, take this opportunity to sell it off lah. Okay, second one, I think this one a lot of people would know lah. Once in a lifetime exemption of a residential property. Residential property only, guys. Okay, so you need to prove that you actually stay there, show some bills. The building must have CCC as well. Okay, so this is the second exemption, once in a lifetime. Okay, all this is under exemption 1 where if you are qualified under this kind of exemption, straight away there's no RPGT to pay for it. Okay, sorry, I missed out last one. Okay, low or medium cost property of 200,000 and below. Okay, selling this kind of property actually won't trigger any RPGT lah. Okay, the condition you need to hold this property that day in land title, Terence already share lah. You need to hold at least 5 years, qualified for certain income level. Okay, only you can buy this kind of property. And also the low and medium cost status below 200,000 only, guys. Okay, so if all this exemption I'm not qualified, how? Then you go into RPGT computation. Okay, RPGT computation. After you know your chargeable gain, there's one more round of exemption. After that is your RPGT payable. Okay, so RPGT computation, as simple as disposal price minus acquisition price times with the rate. Okay. Okay, so for disposable price is consideration, the money you receive, less any incidental cost lah, lawyer fee, transaction fee, that will be your disposal price, okay? The money, total money you receive. Acquisition price, okay? Purchasing consideration plus incidental cost, less deposit forfeited and recoveries received. Okay, for example, somebody actually acquired my house, paid 3% already. Okay, 30,000. And then 30,000, eventually the deal tak jadi. I burn the deposit, I share with an agency, 15,000, 15,000. So this 15,000 need to take off lah from my acquisition price lah. Okay, so because to be fair, I actually have extra money lah. I actually have some money, some proceed from here lah. Okay, and then times the rate depending on the holding period. Less than 3 years, 30%, 3 to 4 years, 20%, 4 to 5th year, 15%, 5th year and above, 5%. Okay, so using back the example I have just now, disposal price, I sell at 1 million. Okay, year 2021. Acquisition price, take note, be careful, it's not using year 2000 acquisition price of 500,000. Okay, it's using the price market value or at 1st January of 2013, guys. So anything you purchase prior to 2013, 1st January, Inland Revenue Board, our government is very kind, so they let you use the market value at 1st January 2013. Okay, so for example, at that point of time, market value is 750,000. Okay, so my purchase price will be 750,000 only lah. Okay, so 1 million minus 750,000, 250,000. Okay, RPGD rate more than 5 years, 5%, 250,000, 1,200 ringgit, 1,250 lah. Okay, so that is how you calculate the RPGT. Okay, so of course, on you getting on knowing 250,000 is my gain, right? Like I mentioned, there's exemption 2 as well. Okay, first 10% or the first 10,000 is exempted. Okay, means to say 250,000, 10% of that is 25,000. First 10%. Okay, so it's higher than 10,000. So whichever higher means I use the 10%. Means 250,000 minus 25,000. 225,000, that is my chargeable gain. Okay, so that will be used to times back whatever is the rate, and eventually reach down to what is the RBGT payable. Okay, so this flow chart straightforward to use. So I will share the slide in the group later as well. So just important to know to advise your client on the flow of how RPGT works. Okay, so that will be the last part of the sharing the numbers today. Okay, now we go into Q&A session. Okay. Okay, if owner already has a valuation report done in the 6th, okay, this is a question from One Click Property. If owner already has a valuation report done in the 6th month, does buyer still need to do and pay for another valuation report? 6 months, very much depends on the bank now. Okay, if within 6 months there's no major, but most likely than not, right, they will ask for it now. Okay, but sometimes if 6 months there's not much fluctuation in the market, then maybe not, but most probably will still ask for a new one now. Okay, because 6 months actually can change a lot of things. For example, property value of January 2021 and property value of June 2020. Sorry, January 2020 and June 2020. Okay, that period of time, COVID hit, economy because drop. A lot of things happens within that 6 months. Okay, so that there's a huge fluctuation. There's a major event happen, huge fluctuation. So of course, a bank will ask for a new valuation report lah. Okay. Okay, for John, why divide 250? Okay, very good question. Actually, it's a formula given by Inland Revenue Board lah. Okay, I also don't really have an answer of why 250 is a rate set by them lah. But it's in relation to something like you need to pay 1 ringgit in every 250 ringgit of rental you receive lah. Okay, so converted to formula is divide by 250. Okay, so it's just a rate set by the Inland Revenue lah. Okay. Free MOT for first time home buyer, yes. For DSR, usually how do we as agent ask our client? Okay, of course, it's not in the first appointment you actually go and straight away ask, hey, how much money you make? It's a whole process of, I would say it's a consultation process lah, okay? When client engage you, how I do it is always, I make the whole flow as a consultation process, okay? So first consultation process, you want yourself to stand out as a professional REN, okay? So have more thing in your service other than just showing people house and then just trying to get people to pay the booking, okay? So of course, first step of consultation, trying to understand your client, KYC, know your client, okay? Find out, it's a process lah, again, I mentioned. So you need to build relationship with your client over some time, and then only usually not in the first phone call lah, okay? Usually when you meet them face to face, then build the rapport, start talking to them, make them comfortable with you only. Then more indirect way you can ask this is, okay, Mr. Purchaser, is 2,000 ringgit is something that you will be comfortable with paying? Ask question like this instead of asking how much you make, what is your current commitment. Okay, then for people that serious that really want to buy, usually they already know roughly what is their budget, okay, how much they can borrow. Okay, so they will tell you, okay, 2,000 too high, so you suggest 1,000. How about 1,500? Or sometimes they say I can go higher than that. Okay, then maybe you go like 3,000 or what lah. Okay, John. Make it the whole consultation. Make it a whole consultation flow and build relationship with your client. Ask more, not so direct lah. Ask more with more skill lah. Okay, John. Question from Cynthia: are all residential projects under HOC? No. HOC, right? You need to have the HOC certificate lah. Okay. Then this one you need to apply to REDA in East Malaysia. Okay. For West Malaysia. For East Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak is SHREDA and SHREDA. SHEDA, SHREDA. Okay. Different states, all of this West Malaysia is under REDA. So just the developer need to apply to REDA, get the certificate only, they are qualified under HOC. Okay. Is the lawyer fee different from different legal firm or fixed? Generally, they all give the same fee. Question to Amir Izzuddin. Generally, the quotation they give is the same, but the disbursement might differ slightly, and then depending on negotiation with lawyer also, sometimes can get some discount lah. Okay, question from Jasper. Hi Chin, is there any standard calculation for lease extension and land conversion fee charge for lease and section? Will this incur RPGT as treated new title again? Short answer, no. Okay, there's two questions here. First one, is there a standard calculation for lease extension and land conversion fee? Yes, there is standard, but it varies in between the municipal. Okay, different local authority have different calculation towards it. Different state, different calculation also. Okay, have to understand, Jasper, land is a state matter. So state can decide how they want to charge on the lease extension fee lah, and then land can be a conversion fee as well lah. Okay, this whole extension, will this incur RPGT? No. Okay, because you are renewing on this lah. Okay, you are not selling it off. There's no transfer in between. Okay, Wee Swee Ling, Esther. How if Cholo under individual and he passed away, the son could not found SP and price for show how much parents bought last time? Now someone to sell short plot. How do we know how much to pay for RPGT? Okay, again, if prior to 2013, then everything will use the year 2013 value lah, 1st January of 2013. Okay, then when you're selling the property, right, need to have a valuation report to show like 1st January 2013, what's the value. Okay, so the RPGT will based on that 2013 1st January value and the selling time value lah. Okay, this is for Esther. But if purchased before that, right, sorry, I mean purchase after 2030, right, a bit more tricky lah. May need to go to need to prove the value of your property lah by engaging valuer lah. Okay. Or maybe can go back to a lawyer to find if they are still keeping the SPA copy or not. What about foreigner for RPGT after 5-year property? Okay, still at 5%. Actually, for non-tax residents, it's 10% after 5 years. Okay, what about other costs that can be exempted? Question from Cynthia, for example, renovation. Okay, renovation, if it really enhance the value of the property, then you can you can deduct it from the then you can add it to the purchase price lah. Okay, but also need to be reasonable lah, because for example you refurbish the place 200,000, usually IRB won't let you just throw the 200,000 in lah. Okay, maybe at certain value only. Okay, Cynthia, so any kind of upgrade that enhance value, for example, extension, then okay. Okay, but also extension, you can't pakat with the contractor say, hey, my extension, you give me invoice of 200,000, I want to claim tax. Cannot do like that, Cynthia. IRB also sometimes very smart also, so they will check like reasonable or not. You do this small and not small extension, 200,000, reasonable or not. IRB will actually check all this one. I look into all this one now. Okay. Okay, question from One Click Property again. Free MOT for first-time home buyer if buyer has several property before but also and now don't have any. Is he eligible for the free MOT? No. First means the first ever in your life, not one property you are holding only. Okay, Patrick. Jian Wei Wei, my client is from HK. She bought the property for 780. Now got offer 450. She agreed the bank valuation at 650. If she sell sign at 650, will she able to get the redemption? Okay, depending on how much still owe to the bank lah. Okay, if you still owe like 700K to the bank, right? Then need to top up lah, unfortunately. Okay, last question from Desmond. What about new completed project and client wanted to sell it in the first year? Is it have RPGT? Yes. Anything you hold and sell below 3 years, there is RPGT. Okay, RPGT will trigger whenever you sell property, no matter sub-sale or new project. Okay, depending on the period of time you hold. Okay, Desmond, that will be for you. Okay, guys, any further questions?
Okay, Chin, there is no more questions on the board. Thank you so much for your sharing and thank you so much for your time, Chin. Okay, everybody, please, let's give Chin our last warm round of applause or thumbs up. That's a very good sharing by him. I'm sure it acts as a reminder for the senior agents, for the new agents. Very good information to start off with. So guys, yep, I hope this session was informative enough. It's a 1-hour session. Hope you all enjoyed it. And most importantly, if you all still have the time, please do help us drop some feedback. Okay, let me just share the feedback screen. Okay, please just help us share some of your feedback with us. Okay, for those of you who feel a little bit unmotivated, please remember tomorrow we are back again at 3 p.m. Tomorrow we have quite an interesting session. We will have a lot of our bank updates from the Citibank mortgage head.
Banker.
Okay, his name is Eric Sfu. Eric Sfu will be coming in tomorrow at 3 p.m. So please do remind your fellow colleagues as well. If you feel good about our session, you feel motivated, you feel like it's informative, come back here at 3 p.m. tomorrow and we will share all our energy with you. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, peace out from your host. I'm Kai. See you guys soon. See you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. We'll be very excited to introduce the next speaker. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Take care. See you.